Guys,
What's going on, my brother?
What's up, Sean? Excited for this.
How we doing, bro?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Listen, man, I'm still getting over the fucking McGregor loss, bro. But
He
this is something.
honorable.
It was honorable, but that goes to show.
I can't hear you.
8-figure, multiple million-dollar businesses. I mean, what did you expect? It's either one or the other. You know what I mean?
You cut off for a second. You're saying McGregor owns 8-figure businesses?
Yeah. So what I'm saying is he's a world-class athlete, but he also owns, all these wonderful businesses, right? So you have to think, does he want to be a world-class athlete, fighter, or does he want to be a good businessman? And that's that's the big problem is, when he was first on the scene, man, and a lot of people don't know this, is he took welfare money, right? And when he was taking, so when he was in Crumlin Boxing Club, he was taking money. And nothing, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no problem with doing that. But you have to think, if that energy, that drive to be the best fighter that he can be of all time. At the time when he knocked out Jose Aldo 5 years ago, when he beat Eddie Alvarez from our hometown, from Philly, I was like, this motherfucker might be the greatest I've ever seen. But
he's amazing, but yeah.
He's incredible, man. But the fact that he owns all these businesses, his focus, that's what I was going to say, his focus is derived. It's in this place and that place. And I think you saw a little bit of that on Saturday night,
Do you think he lost because he kind of started doing other things than being a pure heart into boxing?
I think it definitely didn't help him. I mean, you got to think for yourself. Let's just say goals first, you're making fucking millions of dollars doing this, and then you have a gig to do a show on Netflix, right? And you're doing the show on Netflix, you're having a good time, you're meeting women, you're fucking doing a bunch of crazy things in Miami or wherever you are, wherever you fucking want to choose. The podcast is going to be, you might take a week off, you might, do this. So things are going to suffer. You can't keep up the level of quality, the level of consistency if you go in these different directions. So you need to pick one avenue and just go straight ahead, conquer that, and then go on to the next thing. This is my dilemma with wanting to start two separate businesses at the same time. My thought process was just fucking do one, figure momentum out, and then do the next one. You know what I mean?
Trust me, same here. It's like we're a dilemma. It's a dilemma because me and you, like we're the entrepreneurial minded. So we want to dive into something, and I want to use this to transition to the topic, but energy. But like this really is what you're saying. You only have so much energy. And when you divide yourself too thinly, you're stretching yourself out. But if you're going to let me do a quick little intro, because if I do post this, I'm going to cut from where I'm going to start, and I'll post the recording. But anyway, guys, welcome to Goals First. I got Sean as a guest today, and he has his own podcast, the Sean Boyle podcast. He also has a successful business. And today we're going to talk about energy. The energy you bring to a room, the energy you bring to a girl, and essentially how you can move energy. So like you can the transfer of energy. So like let's say I want someone to be excited, I can actually influence that person to be excited by hanging around them and putting out the vibe. Anyway, Sean, you've been on the podcast before, but why don't you quick say dive into who you are and what your business is and stuff.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it, dude. I literally was thinking about you when you hit me up. I was like, I feel bad because I jerked this guy off literally fucking last weekend with whatever we were trying to do. I'm sorry about that, but
it's okay.
Yeah, it's all right. That's not a fucking excuse. But anyway, people don't know me. I run a, at this point, what is it, 6-7 figure virtual tour business. We do virtual tours for real estate properties, big facilities. We're actually going to be working, knock on wood, with the Philly Convention Center pretty soon. So that's going to be pretty exciting.
Wow. Holy.
It's going to be nuts. But yeah, I'm just a digital marketer. And really looking to just grow, small businesses and real estate as well.
Cool. So I know you're outside of you being an entrepreneur too, and we're very similar minded. I wanted to hit you up today because I forgot my SD card. So I'm like, I'll just do a live stream. I'll bring someone on. I'll make it fun.
Yeah, man.
When I saw the McGregor fight, I knew I was going to use it as a topic. So I know it's your brother's house. Were there other people there, or was it just you and your brother? Were you the squad?
So I told my mom, I'm like, there's like fucking 5 people here, which they were actually. There were 5 people. I thought it was going to be a much bigger gathering. We actually had someone else who bought it, and they just had a better setup, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was like 5 people, and it's nice that way because you can, first of all, you have a seat. You don't have to be all crammed in. Imagine, because I start watching the fights at 8 o'clock. Imagine standing the main event was that 12:30 matches for standing, what, 4.5 hours, 5 hours until you
Well,
fucking
listen,
watch the
I
fight.
was in Miller's Ale House, and we
Yeah,
got nice seat. But anyway, so the point I wanted to get at, so we're in a group of 5 people, and I was in this bar. The energy in the room for McGregor was insane. So, like, listen, I actually bet my friend, hey, Dave, he's on here. So I bet him $5 that McGregor to lose. Not because I wanted McGregor to lose. I'm like,
yeah,
he's going on a win streak. I'll take my chances with the $5 bet. And, but even me wanting McGregor, I betted for McGregor to lose. I still wanted him to win because, like, McGregor's got the heart of a champion.
sure.
But anyway, the point is, the energy of the entire room, man, there was just like, it's like when you're at a concert and everyone's feeling one vibe, and then you hop on this vibe, this energy, and it's the transfer of energy the entire room feels. And especially that moment where he started losing, right? Everyone's like, oh, like there's that whole room goes, oh.
Yeah,
Did you
it was
experience it so much?
catastrophic. It's the green elephant in the room, dude. When I fucking watch the fight, when I watch McGregor fights, whether it's when he fought Dustin Poirier last Saturday, he fought Donald Cerrone, there's just like my heart rate gets so high. I just get, and it's because I'm Irish too. I mean, you can't get more Irish name than Sean Boyle, but I get so energized and so pumped up. Sure, because my heritage, but it's also the energy he brings, man. It's that aurora that he captures. I mean, he's larger than life, and this is what a lot of people don't understand about Conor is, yeah, he's a great fighter, tattoos, he's a good-looking dude, he makes a lot of money, but his mind is the most powerful asset. It's the most, like in terms of energy, it's the thing that people are capturing the most because you don't know what's going to happen. And that's the
No, he's
thing is you don't know
crazy.
what's going to happen. He's doing these superstar knockouts. He's doing all these crazy things. So in his mind and in your mind, when you see him, you resonate Conor McGregor with spectacular things. And that's what people should be doing about you is when they hear your name, when they hear Jared, you hear my name, you should be saying, oh, my God, they do amazing things. They have a certain feeling. When you walk into the room, you're like, oh, my fucking God, Jared's here. I can't fucking believe it. Let's go. And it's just that pumped up energy, man, that you get, when you go into the room. And that's really what you have to get. It's in sales, whether you're trying to get a girl, anything, man. It's life.
I agree, dude. It is like when Connor fought the Cowboy, right? And he came in, he was a shoulder, boom, boom, right?
Yeah.
Everyone in the crowd is just there. It's like, it's like looking at a sporting event, and you're a spectator. We're watching, but I feel it, right? You feel it in
You're like,
your
oh,
core.
shit, never seen that before. Never seen that shoulder strike. It's
Right,
fucking
and
majestic, yeah?
right. He's like he comes in there, right? He's like a ball. It's like one of those wind up monkeys where they come in, they clap, right? He just wound up, and the vibe is truly authentically contagious. And
Mm-hmm.
the point I wanted to get to today is like the fact that we can do that too. I know you know this, I know this, and it's like you said, you want to be the person that's associated with high energies. Like McGregor is associated with, he's a king, and he's also like he knows when to be humble, he knows when to be cocky. But like even his arrogance, people love it. Like most people are like, oh, the bad guy's the arrogant one. With him, it's beloved. People love it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I'll give you an example. So what I like to do is when I go into a bar, when I go into a club, wherever I want to do, I want to go to the party that's not only the loudest and biggest, but has the most attractive girls, like perfect, like total
Yeah.
alpha male. And I want to associate myself with that energy. Why? Because they're having the most fun. It's the law of attraction. It's a magnetic force that people they're looking at their phones, they're looking at everything that are on the dance floor. But what are they looking at? They're looking at me having fun in this grandiose, part of the club. That's the thing is you need to, whether you're doing a meeting, and I'm not saying you need to try to big dick them and be condescending at all. That's not what I'm saying. But you need to make an impact. You need to make a connection. Whether that's being funny or having just a really energetic personality, buying shots and just fucking chugging all of them. Like it's that enigmatic personality that is going to get you the sale. It's going to get you the girl.
I mean,
And it's just
the
going
sale,
to be an
that is
alpha
the
male.
sale. Getting the girl or making the friend you want to make, that you're selling yourself.
Same shit, dude. Yeah, exactly.
And to add on what you said, so I know there's a rule of thumb, when you go into a bar or a nightclub, you want to first, before you befriend the hottest girl, you want to befriend the alpha male. You want to be able to find the coolest guy in the room and introduce yourself. You walk up, and it's the energy transfer. You walk up like, you deserve to be associated with the top man there.
Yep.
I deserve this. What's up, man? I'm Sean. I'm Jared. Nice to meet you. And, only someone who's all the status to introduce himself to the top person would do that. So the person's proceeding to come. This guy must be important if he's going to walk right up to me and, introduce himself. And that's the strategy I learned. You don't want to go for the hottest girl. You go for the guys in the group. You friend them, and then you're welcome into the group. Versus, if you walk in talking to girls, and they're like, dude, get the hell out of here, So you associate
Yeah,
yourself with
exactly.
the top guys first. And it's the
Yeah.
vibe transfer. You come in like you own the place.
Yeah. And you got to make that immediate. You can't wait. You have to go and you have to strike while the iron's hot, because you got to think, if you're that fucking weirdo that, get a shot at the bar and you're like by yourself, then it's kind of weird. It's like, oh, dude, why are you by yourself? Like, and then people are starting asking questions like, who the fuck are you? You literally walk in the door, you go straight to whoever is the king over there. And again, you associate yourself with royalty, with people that, you deserve to be around. And again, that could be money, that could be wealth, knowledge, just making an impact, beautiful girls.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people underestimate themselves. Like I once did. I was like, oh, in my mind, although I didn't say it to myself, I was like, it was saying I don't belong in this group. But now you have to constantly and reevaluate yourself and give that stimulus of fuck, I do deserve
and,
this.
If you feel like you don't belong in the room, you're gonna project that by being in the corner and quiet,
Absolutely,
and shoulders
yeah.
down. Versus, you want to act like this is my bar, this is my territory, and this is body language. When you're more open, you are showing dominance, and when you're more closed in, you're showing submission.
100% dude.
So it matters. It matters significantly. And I just want to. I have some notes here, things to reference. So like, there's been 1,000 TV shows and movies where you see like a character transferring energy, right? So like there'll be a bad guy, he'll like suck the energy out of the like other characters, right? And that's like a metaphor for real life, how you can pull the energy. I know this is taught in pickup with picking up women. So when you go to a woman, you want something from her. They can sense it. You want to get in her pants, and that's why you can't come over with wanting something. You go over to women like you want to give something. You want to give your vibe. I'm having basically, you come over, you're having such a great time, you want to share it with them, which is totally different than wanting to take their good time.
Yeah, and that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand is you want to show them. It's like the dangling grape, where you don't want to steal their grape. You want to give them, a little piece of yours and show them a little bit of the action. And dude, who was the fucking guy who sang the song? Girls just want to have fun. That's what they want to do. They just want to throw a couple shots around, couple whatever else, and say la vie. That's what it is. But you're completely right, man. All joking aside, they want to be associated with the most fun, the most dominant, the people that aren't afraid to go get a little crazy. You know what I mean? Like the people that are just at the end of the day looking to just be themselves and fucking go nuts. We have too many people that are fucking. They're just Jesus Christ, dude. They're just so wound up.
They want to be around the person who's got that energy.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many people, I was gonna say, is that are just bottled up, and they're not allowing themselves to expand and release that energy, which is very powerful.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Like I hate to repeat myself, but it's what you bring to the table. And people more like, it not just applies for women. It applies for a networking event. You want to make business connections. You want to make new friends. No matter what it is, it's like the hanging grape thing. You want to add their grape. You don't want to pluck their grape. You want to contribute. I have a good story myself. So my former, I don't know if I'm his name on the bus here, my friend from college, he had a girlfriend at the time, so I can't say his name. But we go to a party, and there's this girl, like a 10 out of 10. She's sitting there, she's crying, right? Like, really hot girl, but she's crying. And I'm like, of course, I want to get her number. I'm like, she's crying, I'm not going to bother her. And my buddy goes, I'm gonna go talk to her. I'm like, dude, she's crying. Come on. He walks over.
Yeah,
he puts her arm. He's like, what's wrong? Why are you so upset? And he takes this girl from the mind state of crying to giggling to laughing to coming home with him. And
that's what you got to do.
Transfer of energy.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful law about it, man, and again, I can guarantee you that person, like what you just said, was trying to make them laugh, trying to cheer them up, because you can't, when you're in that mindset, people work off of emotion. They work off of how they feel. They don't work off of, because if I went up to this fucking chick or you or anybody else and was like, oh, what's wrong? And they started talking about that. Can you fucking imagine? She'd be like, oh, you want to talk about this? And that's going to make me fucking cry even more. What are you, fucking nuts? Get lost. You know what I mean? But your friend was very smart, and he knows, first of all, how to sell and how to obviously get with women. You need to make them laugh, man. You need to make them laugh. And really, it's just about solving problems and building that trust, right? It's the same thing with a lot of my reps and a lot of my clients is you need to build rapport. So when we're doing cold calling, it's something that, the Jordan Belfort method, you can Google this, YouTube it, but if I was to call you, you owned, I don't know, some restaurant, Jared's taco stand or whatever, maybe do kosher food. That's probably, more of your alley or
The
whatever.
kosher.
Yeah. And fucking can't beat it. If I called you and I go, hey man, what's going on? This is Sean Boyle with Momentum, blah, blah, blah. You'd be like, click it, right? Because my tonality's flat. What I do now, and this is what I preach to my reps, is you pick up the phone and immediately within the first 4 seconds, you need to do 3 things. You need to be perceived as an expert in your field. You need to be enthusiastic as hell, and you need to be sharp as a tack. Within the first 5 seconds, how do you do that? So it's the tonality. It's the uptone, okay? So I would say something like, hey, how you doing today? Sean Boyle, Momentum 360, what's going on? And that tonality, you have to think about it. It's almost like if I'm saying, hey, what's going on, man? Do you remember me? I took you out to dinner a week ago, fuckface. You remember me?
Question. It's a question inflection.
And
right?
Exactly. So their mind is going through so many different patterns. They're almost, miscombobulated. Like, oh my God, do I know this guy? I don't want to be rude. So like, yeah, I'll say hi, whatever. Next thing you know and then you get really close and say, so the reason for my call today, and you get really close and you kind of like shorten your voice up, kind of like Jordan did in the movie. I was studying the psycho analysis of this, but you're building rapport. You're building, the rapport. And the first question out of my mouth that's non-business related is, where are you from? Okay, because if it's a local guy or girl, whatever, business owner, I'll talk with them. If it's a real estate agent in California, I say, hey, fucking in and out. What's going on with it? Crazy, right? Los Angeles Rams, crazy, right? I'll just, obviously build rapport with them. And I think a lot of people need to start doing that within, just cold calling, because everyone wants to go with the sale. But what's a better thing is, like you were talking about with your friend and the girl, if you can build rapport, if you can build trust, that's the most important thing. Because to build a sale, they have to like you, they have to trust you, and they have to like your product, okay? The product sucks, and you have 2 out of 3, they like you, they trust you, they'll do all right. But to build all 3, yeah, you have to have a decent product, but you also have to be liked. You also have to be trusted. And
Jordan,
that's the biggest thing.
He talks about level of certainty, which is the transfer of energy. You need to successfully, which through the steps you just described, transfer your level of certainty to that person. You're certain you're an expert in virtual tours. So when you talk to them, they can tell in your inflection in your voice that you're an expert because you're projecting that. Imagine if you called and said, hey, I'm selling these things called virtual tours. They are virtual. Yeah, they would say, dude,
click.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
But you go, hey, I'm selling these virtual tours, and you know what you're selling. You are an expert, and you're able to inflect it in your voice. I like what you're saying, how you assert you're an expert. Sharp as attack.
Sharp as attack. Enthusiastic as hell, sharp as attack, and an expert in your field.
Right. And those all go into creating the dynamic that you are, you're transferring your state over to them. Certainty. You're certain, which Jordan emphasizes.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, and this is why I love psychology so much, because and again, it's not manipulating. It's really about helping people. If you truly believe in your product or your service, like this podcast focused on goals first. It's not my goals, it's your goals. You know what I mean? So, and that's a very courageous thing you're doing, and very selfless, is you're helping people with their goals. How do they reach their goals? You know what I mean? Because some people don't know how to do it. Some people are they're Googling, they're YouTubing, but you have a consistent platform in Philadelphia that people can say, oh my God, this Jared kid, he's producing great content and he helps me. Maybe some fucking people are like suicidal and they're anxious, and, your videos help them out. I know that, I've had a very lucky thing where people tell me all the time, they're like, not that they're suicidal and anxious, but they're like, hey, I'm starting my virtual tour business and you helped me get to the next step. And it's a great feeling. I'm sure you've gotten messages like that too, where it's like, man, I fucking love your videos and just keep doing it. And, you're exploding on TikTok. You're going to get the 100,000 before, I think, the end of the year. What do you think?
I think, dude, 100K this year, absolutely. It's the goal.
100%.
But, no, you're right, bro. It's exactly that, and I was looking at my notes here. Actually, I went this way faster than I expected. I mean, you gotta be genuine, like you're saying. It's not a scam. It's not manipulation. Because for you to be certain, it's because you believe in it. That's part of how it all plays together. It's not manipulation because you are certain that the virtual tour brings value because you are an expert.
Yeah.
I don't think you could sell something as well if you thought it was bad.
No. Like if I'm selling fucking radios right now, like literally like handheld radios, it's like, if I was again, make it completely cold. If I was knocking on doors and be like, hey, we have this radio, and I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Literally, I have a Tesla that I can drive the steering wheel and play video games while using the steering wheel brakes. Get the fuck out of here. You know, they're just going to tell me, they're just, that's what they're going to say to me. But yeah, you got to believe in it. Got to believe in it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And if you don't, yeah, you're shot in the water. That's why I was just talking to my mom about this. Her friend, if I can say her name, but she is making hundreds of thousands of dollars as a lawyer in Harrisburg, but she hates her job. And my mom was just saying, oh, like she's never been the same. Like she had this accident and she's going a little bit crazy. I'm like, well, what exactly makes her crazy? Like, what is she saying? She's like, oh, well, you know, she just needs to make money. And, you know, she just is trying to, because her spouse was actually, he had a really bad like health problem. I don't want to go into it, but she really needed to provide, right? She needed to be the breadwinner.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just telling her, I asked my mom one question. I was like, why? She's a professional. She can get a job. She could pretty much get her own gig, you know, get her own practice. I'm like, why would you not advise her to do that? Why would you advise her to just continue doing what she hates? And that seemed like such a foreign question to my mom's friend, because she thought that, you know, I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars. We need to do, you know, we need to be that, even though I'm not loving it. And that's not a healthy thing, because
Not at all.
I think that's not only causing stress, that's causing problems at home, that's causing maybe insomnia, you're not sleeping well. Next thing you know, you're losing weight, you're missing meals, and it's just compounding everything. It's compounding until, you know, you build up stress, and who knows what happens. I mean, stress is the ultimate killer. You know, inflammation, at the end of the day, that's the #1 killer in the world, is inflammation.
Yeah. I mean, then it's always stress is a vibe too. When you are stressed out, you're gonna be angrier. You're gonna be more, you know, snappy at people.
Yeah,
And you can't
100%.
be a good leader if you hate what you're doing. I love my job. I love what I do. I seem to love what you do.
Dude, I was in school and I was doing momentum and I was doing fucking 8 hours not 8 hours, like I was doing a considerable amount of work for school every single day. And I was having panic attacks left and right. I'm like, why the fuck am I having panic attacks? I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm literally an owner of a company. I'm also doing bullshit school and I'm worrying about what fucking grade I'm going to get on my bullshit physics test. It's like, come on. Like, it's so stupid. It's such a joke. If you're in school right now, find out what you love and just drop out. I mean, it's maybe it doesn't have to be that harsh, but
Dude,
it's
school
just,
is such a waste right now. I mean, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant, like maybe, but you don't need school to be successful. That's for sure.
yeah, and this is, I literally said this, man, when I was a sophomore, and I'll bring it up again. If you're trying to be an engineer, if you're trying to be a physicist, if you're trying to be something in medicine or engineering that has concrete first principles that you genuinely need to understand, then sure, school is probably for you. But if you're like you and I, where we're just full-blown entrepreneurs, this is what we're born with. We're born to sell. We're born to innovate. We're born to help others in this field of, you know, whether it's health or whether it's promoting your goals first, just lifestyle or technology like I do. It's different. You don't need someone to tell you that. You don't, because we're going to figure it out anyway. The only thing that school really gave me, dude, other than a fucking couple of migraines, was it told me that I don't need someone to hold my hand, because I was doing this, I was doing that, I was cooking my own meals, I was, you know, just doing, I was being a man. I was literally living on my own, going to bed, you know, at the same time every single night. Sure, I would go party and live my life and have fun, but for the most part, it was a business. I wanted to get down to it because at the end of the day, I'm 23 years old, and when I'm 30, you know, I don't want to be working as hard as I am right now. And that's just the truth. I don't think people should aspire to work as hard as they do now. I think they should, you know, put in the system, if they're a business owner, systemize that like the E method, which I'll touch on in a little bit, and slowly but surely live passively. Go travel, go learn another language. I mean, these are the things that I want to do when I have that. I posted something on Instagram today, and it's truly not about the money. Sure, the money is the tool where you can go fucking take flights, but it's not, oh, I have X amount of dollars in my bank account. It's more so, these are the people that I've met. These are the friends that I have in a certain country. These are all of these wonderful things in my life that I can now do because of this. So that's my whole thing, man. That's my goal, is just to travel, own property, and be like, hey, you know, fucking Jared, I'll meet you in Australia. You know,
Yeah.
who's
Hey,
gonna
man,
get there
let's go on
first?
our yacht
Who's gonna
and
get there
drive.
first on our private jet? You know what I mean?
Literally, bro. Yeah, I mean, listen, the day will
Yeah.
come, and it's the law of attraction. It's an energy thing. you can manifest what you want, but you gotta put in the effort. You gotta, you know, too. I noticed that it takes high energy to do what we do, right? Most people get tired very easily. They get a few things done and they're exhausted. They're out for the count. Me and you, we have to have higher energy because we're selling ourselves every day.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we're literally talking. It's 9:30. I literally would be in bed right now. I'd be going to sleep. I wake up at 5 a.m. So, and again, I'm not saying like, I'm taking away from my sleep, whatever. I'd do this for you in a heartbeat. I'd be on here for fucking as many hours as you need me to.
Love you, Sean.
But yeah, dude. It's literally it's day one. I was talking to my dad about you, dude. We were having a conversation an hour ago. I'm like, where did you fucking meet that guy? I'm like, I literally think I met you at the Fuge, like maybe like 8 years ago. Like I was like something crazy like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, dude, you were just like one of the bros, like a frat boy type attitude. Like, yo, what's up, bro? And you
yeah.
When we talk, and I remember I was like a little bit like, huh, I just added a guy on Snapchat instead of a girl tonight, but he seems cool.
Oh shit!
But you know what, Sean? That's a great example because the fact we only met because you had the energy that I was not sexually, but I was attracted towards the energy. It was high vibe, high energy, high IQ, high achievement vibe. I was like, like this guy probably has women gravitating around him, and you probably talked to me because you have sense my vibe, and we're like, okay, let's be friends.
Yeah, you can like someone's energy and not be sexual. Like, and a lot of people don't understand what that means. Like, oh, you like this guy? It's like, no. It's I love the energy. I love the energy they put out. I want to be like, I want to have that mindset. I want to be just free and pompous and all this wonderful stuff. I know exactly what you mean, man. I thought the same about you. I was like, fucking guy's cool. Yeah, I don't want Snapchat. Not the normal sex I normally get. Yeah, but not the normal gender I put on here. But yeah, it was great, man. And
hey,
here we are.
You didn't even dance with me first, Sean.
I know, fucking dude. And then next thing I know, you're fucking cheating on you and everything. Yeah,
dude, the huge days. Those trained us well until like getting to the college party scene.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like that was the prelude. That was like the minor leagues of, and then you go into high school, then you go into college, and it's just prepping you for all these things. It's so interesting to see how we came from that. And oh man, I miss those days.
Yeah, something I want to talk about, which I would use at those dances, is so now I was talking about how you can influence other people's states, like Conor McGregor or whatever. Give me your opinion on changing your own state of mind. So let's say you go in a room and you're anxious, you're nervous. Right. I don't want to talk to girls. How would you work on changing your own state of mind so you put out what you want to put out?
Yeah, so if I'm in a business meeting and I feel a little anxious, I need to find the root cause of that anxiety, whether it's, I'm not going to get the deal, or whatever, I'm nervous to speak, I have a presentation, I'm going to present in front of the board, these guys are multimillionaires, I'm a fucking 20-year-old schmuck, like what do I know? I think getting to the root of the problem first is very helpful, and then it all depends on how much time you have, of course, like, because if you're literally in the room, I would just think about the root cause of this, and at the end of the day, fuck it. If you blow the deal, learn from it, like Jocko says, good. He has that whole video, good. You didn't get the promotion, good. You fucking blew the meeting, good. You have time to prepare, you have time to fix those mistakes. And it's only how's the saying go? It's only good if you learn from it. It's only good if you take what you made a mistake on and truly grasp that and make the adjustment so you never do that again. That is something that I'm currently working on, to really just be like, oh, I made a mistake here. Let me try to rewire my brain so I never make that mistake, because if I make that same mistake again, it's setting me back. I can grow in other avenues, but think of it as if you're Dr. Dre and you're on like a soundtrack and you have those audio levels, right? And you have an audio level that's for health. You have an audio level for spirituality. You have an audio level for mindset. You want all those levels to go up, true, and you can still grow from that, but one level that's, kind of holding you back, it's going to be, you need to learn from that. That's what I'm saying. You need to get past those barriers truly, and that's where you're going to see true growth.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a combination of getting through the barriers through practice, but I do think, you can talk this too. I personally can change my state in the moment. So like I can pause, take a deep breath, center myself, and say, I'm going to choose to go in there and push down my stress, anxiety, and confront this head on and deal with this. And I can kind of instantly change my mood, especially through breathing, right? So like I notice people, when you're stressed, usually kind of tense and you're breathing slowly.
Mm-hmm.
So you can reverse that and choose to be in a higher state by breathing. Now, also breathing makes your voice deeper as well. So I don't know if you hear that change there.
Yeah.
You can have a deeper voice, more confident, more ready. So there's little things you can do to change your state and pull yourself out of the state that you don't want to be in. And it really is a choice. You know, it's practice. You got to practice doing this. The first time it's hard as shit. Like, how can I go from being anxious about talking to a pretty girl to just doing it? You know, I get it.
Yep.
But if you force yourself enough times, eventually it becomes habit.
Yeah, it's muscle memory. And what I was going to say is, if you're, it's kind of funny text message. If you're, where was I think I fucking lost my train of thought. If you're going into a meeting, what I like to do sometimes is reverse engineer it, right? Where I might seem a little standoffish. I might even seem kind of uninterested. And I've had clients sometimes where they're being tire kickers, and I'll be like, tire kickers, where they're just like not buyers. They're fucking just kicking tires. They don't make a decision, you know. And they'll be like, Sean, are you okay? Like, what's going on? I'd be like, yeah, I'm fine. I just like I presented everything to you. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to be a good fit to work with you guys. You know what I mean? Now I flipped it on them, and they're like, and now they're going to me, and they want my energy. They want, you know, to be liked by me, and it's a good psychological trick where you can kind of flip it on themselves, and they're like, oh my god, like I want to like this guy. Like, why isn't he liking me? And it's that psychological thing. You can truly do that. You have fucking balls of steel if you believe in the product. The product's good. If the product's damn good, then fucking you can do that. If the product's not good, you're like, it's like, you know, it's like poker, where it's like blackjack, where you know the fucking dealer has 21 flipped over, and you gotta, you know, pair it. What do you got? Like fucking, you're already busted, you know, and you're
Right.
kind of screwed. There's no foundation. You have a house of toothpicks, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. You can also do that with women, right? I made a video about this. How when I talk to a girl, I do Instacart all day now, like just a little side job, make some money. It's good, it's $20 an hour. And if I see a cute girl, especially like a cashier, and you know, flirting as well, I'll be like, hey, let me leave you my number. You can text me if you want to. So it's the same thing. I'm flipping the script, and instead of me like, can I get your number so I can please text you? It's like, I'll give you my number, and you know, you can do the work and text me. And people don't even try this because they don't, like, it works with you in business. It works with me picking up women. It works with making friends. When you flip the script, it actually works because it's like reverse psychology, and it's again like the energy thing. It asserts you must be high value, or your product must be high value if you're gonna, you know, you put it in their ball, their court to make the next move.
Yeah, because girls want to see that you're busy. They want to see that you're building something. So, and I that's a great strategy. If you give someone their phone number, it's not saying F off. It's like the allotted time that I can give to you, I'm busy right now. So you can text me on your own time rather than saying, oh, like, what's your number? Let me text you. Like, and then it's sacrificing your time for the business for this chick. And I think that you need to have the reverse sense, obviously, where obviously your company, your business is more important rather than some girl that you don't even know. And then, like you said, she's kind of fighting and pulling for your attention and really just gravitating. You're like the center of the universe. You're just, you know, getting everything, and you're like a black hole for the most part. But it's a great strategy, man. I like that a lot.
I see some comment. We know your strategy. I'm telling the world. We know your secret. I don't know what secret that is. I'm not sure who this is, but okay. Cool.
Who I can't even see the comments. Shit.
It says La Hippie Lab. I'm sorry, La Hippie Lab. I'm not sure who you are. That's not your name. But glad my secrets are out there. I thought that's always reassuring.
Yeah, shit. not like it's gonna stop working, you know?
yeah, seriously.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, that kind of covered what I wanted to get through. Anything you want to add to this kind of like having energy and adding it to a room and transferring energy?
Yeah, the last thing I want to say is for the people that they want to be entrepreneurs, they want to be business people, there's a preconceived notion out there that I've seen that people need to work X amount of hours per day, right? And I don't want to say that's not true, because yes, you do have to put in the work. It's very true. But like we touched on earlier, man, people will burn themselves out through the entire day. So the question then becomes, how do you not only not burn out, but how do you extend that energy throughout the entire day? So like a good example, if let's just say you're trying to put 12 hours in. You wake up around 5:30, you get showered, you sit in your seat, your office, wherever you are, you commute, you hit the desk at 6 o'clock, all right? You hit the desk at 6 o'clock, maybe you have an hour lunch, maybe do this, do that, but you're still consciously, like you're on your phone working. And this is a full day. This is what I normally do, is full 12 hours, so 6 to 6. You go hit the gym. It's like, how do you do that? For me, I like to take, and again, it's based off of my calendar. I'm a very religious nut when it comes to my calendar. If it's not on there, I don't do it. That's just my thought process. But you need to slow down. You need to have micro speed and macro patience, where you're not expecting results now. You're really being fast in the short term, but in the long term, you're like, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. But there also needs to be something where you need to just slow down and you need to think about things, because if your decisions aren't going to be correct, if your decisions aren't going to be the next step into the success of the company, and if you blow that decision, then again, you're just falling on a bullshit house of cards, my friend. And a lot of people burn themselves out. I did when I was first starting this out, when I was doing school and I was doing momentum.
So easy to burn yourself out. I'm going to touch on something that I know from right now in reference to what you just said. You know who Jason Capital is?
Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah.
You gotta watch him. He is, in my opinion, the most helpful man I've ever watched in my life. He combines like Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Jordan, but he combines everyone's work into one. It's like he's basically read it all. I'm kind of doing what he's doing. Like I'm learning everything and then I'm presenting it. But this guy knows everything. He's big on something called bioenergetics. What bioenergetics is hacking your body for energy. And like you're talking about the 12-hour day. So something this guy Jason Capital talks about is this is to go into pick up a girl, you go into a meeting, go into anything we need to raise your energy level. You do something for bioenergetics, and it's kind of weird, right? So you can do either the breathing exercises where something like kind of hunch down, it takes some of our breaths, and then it re-energizes you. Or he talks about barking like a dog, and it's such a weird thing. You go, right?
Yeah.
It switches your state.
I remember that.
It's going to pull your state of mind out of the gutter. So, imagine you're a little stressed. You're like, oh, it's all getting me. I don't know if I have the energy to meet this person, get that girl's number. And let's say, you're in a mall, right? You want to get some girl's number. And you see some cute girl, you bark like a dog. Well, it's not getting much weirder than that. So at that point, you might get her number.
Right. That's so true. Yeah. There's that. And I want to show you this. There's also a thing, which if you noticed, McGregor did on Saturday, which is very powerful, is he walked to the center of the cage and then he was just doing that, and he looked to the heavens. I forget what that's called, but yeah, it's just do that. Just literally do, like, I think it's like the God pose or whatever. But you just first of all, yeah, like you're expanding your body, you're expanding your physical self, you're aligning your energy with a more confident, a more alpha type state that you'd like to be in. And yeah, I mean, this is all. And the great thing about this, man, this is all backed by science. I actually know.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of people think like we're just waving a magic wand and this is, some bullshit fucking Harry.
It sounds stupid to be true, but stuff, it works. It really works. And because what it is you have a diaphragm and you have blood flowing through yourself, and you have your lungs, and you have your nervous system. So when you do the breathing exercises, it gets things circulating. When you do this, it's the same thing as if you fake a smile. Okay, this is a good hack. If you smile, you actually feel happier because your brain can't tell fake from real sometimes. So what you're doing here is you're asserting to your brain, I'm big, I'm confident. So I think that's my guess. I don't know this for a fact. But I think Conor McGregor, all the people that do this, it's asserting I'm a god, I'm big, and you're physically taking up more space, which is what an alpha male does, versus someone who's in a state of mind who's scared, takes up minimal space. And the reason for that is they're protecting their guts. So when you're confident and you're not scared, you're open because you're not scared of predators killing you, and your guts, your softest part of your body is here. When you're scared, you close the softest part of your body to protect it, and it's inherent in your wiring to do that.
And your brain is wired to do that because what's the brain's number one job? Is protection. It needs to make sure that you're not going to die at all times. That's really what the brain is there for, the safety mechanism. And that's why a lot of people they'll hear themselves while they're going through like some crazy success. It's like, you can't do that. You can't do this. And it's a safety protection because they know that that goal is going to, it might be a little bit stressful. It might be, a couple fucking days without sleep, this, that, and the other thing. You might have to work hard, whatever. But it's worth it. It's worth it to get to the next step. You have to push through that boundary. You have to push through. You almost have to have a second brain. Not that. You almost have to have the I forget which part is it, the left or right, that is stronger than the anxiety one, obviously. And you need to just tether that brain and callous it. I love the whole David Goggins mindset of just callousing the mind, of doing one thing that's hard a day. Like, I'll tell you something. I was literally in a meeting at 12:30, got out of it, had a quick lunch. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm so busy. I don't even know if I want to go to the gym today. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. So I literally, for 45 minutes, I was at the gym. I was doing a HIIT workout. I did arms. I did, abs, and I was sweating my ass off. But that's the one thing is great because I went back to the office now and then I got situated. I'm like, fuck, I feel good. That gives you confidence because like, oh my God, I just told myself before I left an hour ago I wasn't going to be able to make the gym, and I already worked out for the day. How awesome is that? How cool is the fact that I was able to push through that boundary, and now I have confidence because of it? I think if the opposite happened and I did go to the gym, I'd almost feel remorseful. I'd say I go to bed, I'm like, oh my God, I didn't work out again today.
Dude, our minds punish us. We feel bad when we don't do what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And, it's hard. And also, it's one of those things, and I'm sure you know this, once you start a task, you're usually more inclined to finish it. If you just put 5 minutes in, you're probably going to do the full task. And that's really the thing. People that get stuck in the knowing what they should do, but they don't do it, like such as going to the gym, you got to learn. And it's the only way. You cannot, you're never, a lot of people get in this stuck where they're just like, oh, I'll do it eventually. And every single day is I'll do it in the next day. The only way you're ever going to change is to just one day say, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Like you're saying, you didn't think, I know you're busy as hell, but Sean, you still found the time and you did it. And that's really, it comes down to either going to do it or you're not. And you can hack your state of mind by learning to, that's a habit in itself and a trait to learn how to force yourself to do things you don't want to do, but being able to step out of the feeling and saying, well, I don't feel like it, but I know I should.
Something that we should do is be on Clubhouse.
What is thought? I keep hearing you mention Clubhouse. You gotta tell me what that is.
So it's an audio-based chat room where it's no video. It's just you'll have these little circles of people's headshots. You can, go to their profile and say, oh, Jared, motivational speaker, podcaster, and it'll just give you a short bio. You can put in your Twitter, Instagram. You can link those platforms. And you can also put, YouTube link, which I believe they're still working on. I believe you can't click the YouTube and that's going to populate to their channel, but they're working on it. It's still a beta, I guess. But you can have as many people as there want. If you want to talk about motivational stuff, you want to talk about health, if you want to talk about sports, anything that you could think of, there's a room for it. And it's great because you can then, I was in a room with fucking Grant Cardone and Vin Diesel, Gary V.
Dude, I gotta get on this, Sean. That sounds hype.
Yeah. Here's what I'll do. After this, I'll send you an invite to Clubhouse, and then we'll just start doing. I don't want to take away from your platform on IG, but it's just Clubhouse is going to be the next thing in 2021. That's what it's going to do.
Listen, I'm on board. I gotta stay ahead of the curve,
Yeah, for sure. But dude, this is fucking fun. I love doing these.
Yeah, well, dude, thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking. I got a comment. Great networking. This is how I found Sean. See, you got a comment already certifying that your claims are not bullshit. You really do what you preach.
Yeah. Who said? Wait, what did they say? I can't see the comments.
It's Maggie M4 said, "Great networking. This is how I found Sean."
Oh, nice. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Anyway, but dude, thanks for coming on. Instagram screws up sometimes, so I'm gonna hit end and I'm gonna hit post. But it wouldn't shock me if Instagram doesn't post it. But I have the audio recorded as well separately, so we'll see what happens.
You're a smart man. But Jared, I love you, dude. Thank you guys for so much for watching. Take a good one. Be healthy. God bless. And Thank you, Jared.
Sean. Have a good one.
Yeah. Take it easy, buddy.
Right, peace.
Peace, man.